start a business. I guess I should say my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm Autumn Carroll, and I have a home-based business that is called MettaMarie. It's a unique line of clothing. I didn't plan to start a business. I call it a happy accident. I've spent the last, 30 years homeschooling my kids, doing housework, just mom things. And when my kids started growing up, kind of looked at shopping, trying to find some clothes, and that wasn't working for me. Always felt like I was wearing someone else's clothes, just never really kind of found my style. So stumbled onto a style online, and I loved it, and I found a retailer locally that sold it, and I couldn't afford it. It was just completely price prohibitive. So I did what I always do. I said, I'd do it myself. And that's what I did. No plans of a business at all, but I started that and made a few items, loved doing it, kind of broke the rules because I did what I could see in my head without any formal training, and people started stopping me and asking me about my outfits, and it began to be more and more places that I went, people would stop and want to know where I bought the outfit, and a lot of my friends started telling me, you need to make this a business. The first few times that I kind of very hesitantly put my clothes out was at a small flea market. I love flea markets, and it just seemed like a natural place to put a few things out. And I had more confidence in some of my other crafts, some of my other sewing. I've quilted for 30 years. I hung out the first few items at the Cow-Can flea market, a little bit embarrassed because my style was non-traditional. But I hung them out and determined I was just going to go ahead and, be really brave and put my clothes out there. And lo and behold, the clothes sold. People came by, they loved them. They were excited about them, wanted to know if I was going to make more, would I be back next month. Following that, I worked part-time at a retail store, a kind of edgy antique store. I guess that's what you call 81. But anyway, it's an extraordinary, different kind of store. So the opportunity came up for my clothes to be sold there at 81, and that was kind of the beginning of my retail experience. I'd never done anything like that. Same thing happened there, very shyly. I put my clothes out the first week, fantastic sales, and every week since has been really wonderful sales. The staff there is just, they're fantastic and, real supportive. Don't always understand my style, but they're like, it's here, we like it. So I've kind of built a clientele there. Also, a couple of other retail stores. For a while, a store in Ruston, Chartreuse Pear, carried my clothes. It was a little bit difficult because of the distance. Okay. Barbara Stacy at Hamilton House asked if I would put a few things there. I did that, set up a display, and it went great. Same kind of response. So, again, another happy accident. Since that time, I've had my line of clothes featured in Vintage Charm magazine that's based out of Seattle, Washington. And it was a beautiful, 2-page spread with my friends that we did a photo shoot several months before, and all my friends volunteered to help out. And it was a lot of fun, and the whole adventure has been a whole lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun. As far as coming up with the name, I don't know any other way to describe it except that I knew when I would know the right name was when I came upon the right name. I named my clothing line after my grandmother, who taught me to sew. She didn't really spend time on the sewing machine. I spent summers up there, and we would sit in her living room, and she taught me to do handwork, embroidery, and I guess she taught me a love, really, just for needlework of all kind. And then my mom is an excellent seamstress, and I wish I was as good as seamstress, but we have different styles. So thankfully, my mom and I don't have to sew together, but she is one of my biggest supporters. And she actually works for me. She does a lot of my cutting. It's a precision job, and I need somebody to do that. I'm not precision. I know where I lack. I have a couple of young ladies that work for me. They model as well as work in the sewing room, and we do everything from stitching to picking up scraps, laughing, talking. We quit. About every 2 weeks I quit because I'm tired. But it's fun, and it's work, and it's ever changing. It evolves. It's like every year it evolves. It'll be 5 years I've been in business in May, and most of the styles are similar, but things have evolved. I've found things that work better. They're more efficient, better quality, and I think as a small business, that's what you want. You want your product to be unique and high quality and interesting. For me, it also has to be fun, so that's important to me. One of the things that I learned early is that you needed to have a recognizable statement in your product, especially in the fashion industry. There's only so many ways you can make a shirt. My shirt needed to be different. It had to have something that always said, oh, that's MettaMarie. That's a difficult thing to find. My signature ended up being something called tattered. It's got raw edges, and that's my signature. Once I settled on the name and I settled on the feature that was going to be recognizable, it was easy to work within that. Those things are they're consistent within the brand, and other than that, other things do change. When I first started, probably casually bought my materials locally. I looked a little bit online, but not a lot, because obviously my volume wasn't real high. Probably spent about 10 to 12 hours a week repurposing clothes, other small projects. One of the things that I do in my business is I try not to waste anything. And I have a real love for vintage lace and textiles, so anytime I find vintage lace and textiles, I still use those. I started the business using those, and those seem to be a recognizable thing as well. Now I buy large volumes of vintage lace, vintage textiles of every description, and the more unique the better. That's better for my name. As far as fabric, my sources are almost completely online. In the beginning of MettaMarie, I worked in a small 8x8 room with a couple of old sewing machines, good ones, but old ones. Probably spent 10 to 12 hours a week, maybe 20 at the most, but it was great fun. Today, I have three part-time employees, and I'm full-time. I work from can to can, and it's supposed to be 3 days a week full-time because I need some time off, but I never really leave because it is based in my home. I have no idea how many hours I work because my brain never stops thinking about it. I'm busy marketing my brand. I'm busy trying to keep books. I'm busy ordering fabric. I'm busy arranging work for my workers. So I don't know how you equate that. I know that it's rewarding. It's worth doing. It provides a great income for our family. Being debt-free is probably the best part about it because life is unsure, and if something happened and I had to leave this business for whatever reason, I wouldn't have a heavy debt over my head. So that's, to me, that's important. That's not important to everyone. As far as advice to somebody else starting out, honestly, I would say don't overthink it. Do what you know, trust your instincts, and trust what you like, because the things that I make, the clothes, the styles, everybody doesn't like it. I'm okay with that, but I like them, and it's supposed to be 3 days a week full time because I need some time off, but I never really leave because it is based in my home. I have no idea how many hours I work because my brain never stops thinking about it. I'm busy marketing my brand. I'm busy trying to keep books. I'm busy ordering fabric. I'm busy arranging work for my workers. So I don't know how you equate that. I know that it's rewarding. It's worth doing. It provides a great income for our family. being debt-free is probably the best part about it, because life is unsure, and if something happened and I had to leave this business for whatever reason, I wouldn't have a heavy debt over my head. So that's, to me, that's important. That's not important to everyone. As far as advice to somebody else starting out, honestly, I would say don't overthink it. Do what you know, trust your instincts, and trust what you like, because the things that I make, the clothes, the styles, everybody doesn't like it. I'm okay with that, but I like them. And as long as I'm doing what I like, things continue to sell. So I don't know what that is. I don't know that can be trained. I don't know that it can be taught. But for me, that's worked. I have to stay with that, is do what I like, do what I enjoy, as far as fabrics and laces and styles, things like that. I have to do what I like.